Every thought, every memory, and every emotion begins with a biochemical reaction. Respected principal, esteemed speakers, honorable faculty members, and my dear friends, a very good morning to one and all. With this thought, we begin today's academic gathering that focused on understanding the brain through the lens of biochemistry. Now to formally welcome the August gathering, I invite our respected Ed and Associate Professor, Department of Biochemistry, Dr. K. A. Fatima, MSc, MPhil, PhD, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. So this is a saying by Mahatma Gandhi. I am starting with this. So today I think you will be knowing today is Sarvodaya Day, Remembrance Day of Mahatma Gandhi. Good morning to all assembled here. Here we have all assembled for the international seminar on neurodegenerative disease, a biochemical approach. On behalf of our Department of Biochemistry, Bharati Women's College, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants and the guest speaker of the both the sessions, Dr. Annie and Dr. Kavita. I thank you both for accepting our invitation, and you have joined us amidst your busy schedule. Thank you. I also welcome all the participants of the city colleges. We have around 100 participants from all the city colleges, Biochemistry Department. And I also welcome staff members of Department of Biochemistry and other departments of Bharati Women's College who have joined here for our international seminar. It gives, actually our department started in 1981 and this is our 45th anniversary. So we are celebrating our 45th anniversary. To commemorate this, we are observing this, we are organizing this international seminar on neurodegenerative diseases and biochemical approach. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome the guest speaker of this session, Dr. Sam, the first session, Dr. Sam Annie PhD. She is actually Faculty of Medicine, Royal College of Medicine Park, University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I feel proud to say that she is an alumnus of our department and she did the UG, PG and also PhD in our department. She worked under a project, UGC project. She worked under a UGC project under the guidance of Dr. Geeta ma'am. Dr. Annie will today deliver a lecture on topic camphorol and neuron health, cytoskeletal pathways to combat neurodegeneration. Thank you, Annie, for joining us. I am also privileged to welcome the guest speaker of the next session, Dr. Kavita Rajashekar, Senior Scientist at ICMR, Department of Health Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, New Delhi. Dr. Kavita is also an alumnus. She has brought many accolades to her department. Thank you, Kavita, for accepting our invitation to join us for this seminar. Adam will enlighten us on the topic apoptosis, necrosis, and the inflammatory factors for disc herniation. This is also a much needed topic of today. The concept of today's topic, neurodegenerative disease, signifies the current need for prioritizing neuronal health. Neuronal health has become a critical pillar of overall well-being, as neurological conditions are now the leading cause of ill health and disability globally, affecting 3 to 4 billion people. The preservation of healthy neurons is essential for maintaining the brain's role as a command center for the body's physical, mental, and social function. Hence, lifestyle habits like physical activity, nutritious diet, quality sleep, and mental stimulation are recommended to mitigate neurodegenerative disease. To keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear. This quote by Buddha emphasized that we should prioritize our overall health. We hope all the participants will benefit from this seminar topics, and it turns out to be a grand success and memorable one for all of us. Thank you all once again for joining us today for our international seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for those gracious words. As a mark of respect and appreciation, we now proceed to honor our esteemed guest for gracefully accepting our invitation and sharing their valuable time and expertise with us today. I kindly invite our respected Head of Department, Dr. K.A. Fatima, MSc, MPhil, PhD, to honor our esteemed speaker, Dr. Sam Annie Jayakristi, MSc, PhD, FAAB, AMEE, ESME, Female Fellow, Faculty of Medicine, Royal College of Medicine, University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I kindly request our respected Head of the Department, Dr. K.A. Fatima, MSc, MPhil, PhD, to honor our esteemed speaker, Dr. Kavita Rajashekar, MSc, MPhil, PhD, Senior Scientist, Indian Council of Medicine, Research, Department of Health Research, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Thank you, ma'am. We are truly grateful to our esteemed guest for being part of today's academic program and for enriching the seminar with their presence. Now, to introduce our distinguished speaker in detail, I kindly invite our respected Associate Professor Dr. N. Meenakshi, MSc, PhD, Department of Biochemistry, Bharathi Women's College, Chennai, to introduce the speaker to the gathering.
Respected Madam Principal, guest speakers, faculties, and my dear students, a warm good morning to one and all present here. It's my pride and privilege to introduce the speaker of this session, Dr. Sam Annie Jayakristi, Head Department of Medical Education, Royal College of Medicine, University of Kuala Lumpur. I proudly place on record that she is an alumni of this prestigious institution. She completed her undergraduation in 2001, post-graduation in 2003, and PhD in 2010 from the Department of Biochemistry, Bharathi Women's College. Later, she upgraded herself with certificate courses in Association for Medical Education in Europe, AMEE, and a fellowship program in Foundation of Advancement of International Medicine Education, FAMER. After her PG, she served as a lecturer for a year at Annai Violet College and then joined research. On completion of research, she served as Research and Development Officer at Hubert Envocare Center Systems, and later she joined AIMS University, Malaysia as lecturer in 2011. She also served as Deputy Director for about 5 years, and then she moved to University of Kuala Lumpur as Senior Lecturer and currently serving as Head of the Department. To mention her research fellowships, She had she has been the UGC project fellow in 2004 to 2007 and the CSIR SRF fellow in 2008 to 10 during her PhD research program in this institution. She has served as co-investigator for diverse projects worth rupees 1,95,200 Malaysian ringgits in AIMS University. She has been the principal investigator generating project funds worth 2 lakh Malaysian ringgits at the Ministry of Higher Education, Malaysia, and 40,000 Malaysian ringgits at University of Kuala Lumpur. To her credit, she has around 43 publications in various international, national and journals and ebooks. To add feather to her cap, she has 2 patents, one on brain tumor detection device, another one is device for monitoring carbon dioxide absorption. She has evaluated around 60 PhD theses in various universities in India apart from AIMS. She has also served as supervisor, co-supervisor and Viva panel member for not only PhD programs but also for UG and PG research programs. Dr. Annie continues to share her knowledge and research experiences by serving as resource person in various conferences, workshops, seminars and as membership in various societies and clubs and a manuscript reviewer in about 10 journals. She has been awarded Dr. Rajagopal Endowment Award for Best Paper Presentation in 2009 during her PhD work, an award for excellence in academics and research at AIMS University for consecutive years, an award for uplifting remarkable academics, Aura, and immersive virtual teaching award by the University at Kuala Lumpur. With these words, I believe that you will all enjoy this session, enhance your thinking ability for a better future. I welcome Dr. Sam Annie Jayakistri, who has accepted our invite in spite of her busy schedule in India. Thank you.
Okay, a very good afternoon to all of you here. Sorry for the inconvenience. எல்லாத்தையும் மாத்தினேன் ஆனால் இந்த தலையில் இருக்க கொண்டையை மறந்துட்டேன்ற மாதிரி டைட்டில் சேஞ்ச் பண்ண மறந்துட்டேன். Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to thank Dr. Fatima, Dr. Meenakshi, because Meenakshi ma'am வந்து எனக்கு கிட்டத்தட்ட 1 year கேட்டிருப்பீங்க தானே மேம். She has been trying to bring me here for around a year. So I'm really grateful for you ma'am for remembering me. I have a bonding with this college for almost 12 years, you know. அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு அட்டாச்மெண்ட். நான் இங்கே வந்து பார்க்கும்போது பில்டிங் எல்லாம் சேஞ்ச் ஆயிடுச்சு, எல்லாமே மாறிடுச்சு. ஏன்னா 2018 ஐ திங்க் ஐ கேம் ஹியர் லாஸ்ட் 17 or 18 வந்தேன். And and now everything has changed. So I'm so happy to see the college being upgraded, and I wish in future this will become a deemed university also. So we pray for it, because I'll be very happy to be part of this. Okay? I still remember the opposite side, first BSc first year class after strike. ஏன்னா நாங்க வந்த இயர்ல தான் ஸ்ட்ரைக் இருந்தது. அந்த ஸ்ட்ரைக் முடிஞ்சு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எங்களை வந்து கொண்டு போய் அந்த ஜெயிலுக்குள்ள தான் எங்களோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் கிளாஸஸ் எல்லாமே அந்த ஜெயிலில் இருக்கிற அந்த ஒரு குட்டி ரூம்ல தான் இருந்தது. இட் வாஸ் ஸோ நைஸ். பட் இனிஷியலி ஐ ஹேட் அ ஃபீலிங் தட் என்னடா இப்படி ஒரு காலேஜ் அப்படின்னு. பட் லேட்டர் ஆன் யூ see where I'm standing is because of this college. Okay, before I start, I would like to say how, apart from the biochemistry what I learned here, the other hidden curriculum, we say it as hidden curriculum. அதாவது நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாமலே நம்ம நிறைய காரியம் வந்து காலேஜ்ல கத்துக்குவோம். That curriculum was taught actually by Bharati Women's College. Okay, just few examples. நீங்கெல்லாம் வந்து ஸ்டோர்ல செக் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? கூப்பிட்டுருக்காங்களா மேம்லாம் அவங்கள? மோஸ்டா இயர் 3ல கூப்பிடுவீங்களா மேம்? இயர் 3. ஓகே, ஸ்டாக் செக்கிங். ஸ்டாக் செக்கிங் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? பண்ணிருக்கீங்க தானே? மேபி இன் ஃபியூச்சர் உங்களை கூப்பிடுவாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து எனக்கு what I learned in Bharati Women's, how to do stock checking. நான் மலேசியால லேண்ட் ஆகும்போது when I entered into AIMS University, the first thing they recognized me is to do the intent, அதாவது chemicals உடைய inventory நான் prepare பண்ணணும். So that was the first job given to me, and since I already had experience in Bharati Women's, I was able to do with the digitalization little bit of the modern technology that I introduced. I was known by even the Vice Chancellor. You know, so where did I learn that? It was from Bharati Women's. So I'm really grateful for that. That is where I was recognized in the university, and I moved forward, and finally I was appointed as Deputy Director for Center for Postgraduate Studies, handling around 15 postgraduate programs. And all the curriculum and everything we have to, the accreditation programs, everything comes under my purview. So that was the beginning here. அப்புறம் இன்னொரு மெமரி, chromatography, you know. Chromatographyலாம் வந்து நம்மளோட திறமை, available resources வச்சு நம்ம பண்றது வந்து really you can learn from Bharati Women's College. That is innovation that you do. So this innovation will lead you to a bigger innovation in your life. Okay? எஜுகேஷன்னு பார்த்தா அந்த நாவப்படம் மரத்துக்கு கீழே உட்காந்து இங்கிலீஷ் கிளாஸ், தமிழ் கிளாஸ், அங்கே எடுத்துகிட்டே இருக்கும்போது ஒரு படம் டொக்குன்னு தலையில் விழும். ஸோ அந்த விழுறது இல்லை, அந்த டைமில் அவங்க சொல்கிற வேர்ட் பார்த்தா எக்ஸாமில் வந்தால் ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா அப்போ தான் அந்த நாவப்படம் டொக்குன்னு தலையில் விழுந்தது. ஸோ அந்த மெமரிஸ்லாம் வந்து தட் வாஸ் பார்ட் ஆஃப் எஜுகேஷன். இப்போல்லாம் வந்து ட்ரை பண்ணுறோம் எப்படி வந்து இப்போ ஐ எம் ஒர்க்கிங் அஸ் ஹெட் ஆஃப் மெடிக்கல் எஜுகேஷன். ஸோ MBBS ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு நம்ம எப்படி கரிக்குலம் டெலிவர் பண்ணணும், what are the innovative methods we can use ன்னு சொல்லி நாங்கள் இப்போ ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். அப்போவே we were exposed to innovative methods with the Indian blackberry. You know, I can remember all those words that were told during the lectures under the tree. So அந்த மாதிரி exposureலாம் we get here only. When I became Deputy Director, I had to do accreditation documents. So அது வந்து எனக்கு யாரும் சொல்லி தரல. Even in the university, those rules were implemented by the Malaysian government in a very stricter way during that time. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி இருந்தது, but it was only superficial. They just saw what are the facilities available, what are the curriculum that is given to the students, and மட்டும் தான் பார்த்தாங்க. But when I went there during my work period there, they were very strict. So I had to do all the accreditation documents. You know, that experience also from Bharati Women's, because I made the PhD document to bring the PhD program here. So I was there in documentation process. When the first NAT team came here for visit or establishing PhD department, I was the one there, and we were the first pioneer batch, isn't it, ma'am? So I'm really grateful for all the lessons learned, all the teaching that I received from Bharati Women's, and great teachers we had, and I can see still Dr. Meenakshi and Dr. Fatima is still here, and I will not forget plant biotechnology techniques taught by Dr. Meenakshi, restriction enzymes taught by Dr. Fatima. Okay, so these were, there is some memorable things that I would like to remember when I come to Bharat University College. So it's really nice to see you all. Please use this opportunity. Whatever you are getting to know here, whatever you are learning here, it will surely be helpful in your future. So don't take everything very light. Okay? Everything is known as hidden curriculum. Curriculum now on paper, we know what we have to learn in biochemistry, you know, but apart from that, there are several soft skills that will help you to move forward. Not only the theoretical knowledge or practical knowledge in biochemistry will help you. Okay, always remember that. All the soft skills like communication, you are asked to present, you are asked to organize, you are asked to become the master of ceremony. So all of this are a part of curriculum that you learn during your undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Okay, so make utilization of all these opportunities that you get. Don't run away from them. You might not deliver it in a full-fledged like what is expected, but that's a learning. Slowly you will change, you will become expert. I never was standing on the dais like this. I never participated in any cultural program before. But you see, everything is taught by Bharati Women's. The courage, like when I entered into PhD program and postgraduate program, we had to do all this. Take ownership of the practicals, preparing the chemicals. Okay, so all of that is really very helpful. Until now, I see in Malaysia, the university students, they need lab assistants to prepare the chemicals. So it is only the Indian students, and especially from here, you know, we get the experience to prepare the chemicals by ourselves. We get the knowledge from undergraduate. So you should be really grateful for it, that you are learning so much. You might not realize now, but you will realize it when you move forward, when you go out of your comfort zone. Okay? So with that note, I would like to start with my lecture. Actually, as ma'am said, I was traveling a lot this whole week. I went to Tirunelveli and then I came to Salem yesterday night. I traveled back here. And again on Sunday, I'm going to Trichy for Bharathidasan University and one more college there. So that is how my schedule is packed. But thanks to Dr. Meenakshi, because she was the one fixed this time for me. Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am. So we all know that in this world, you know, now the global burden that we are facing is neurodegenerative diseases. Okay, even in our family, if you see, after a certain period of time, they all undergo memory loss and then disabilities in walking and disabilities in doing their own work that they have to do, their routine work. Okay, so that is because of neurodegeneration, like the cognitive level declines. So all of these are part of neurodegeneration. So that is now upcoming. You know, it might be because of the stressful world, the environment that we are facing, or we are running after the work that we do. We are not relaxing ourselves. So we don't know what is the cause. But if you see, it is being increasing in the forthcoming years, and they say into 2030, you know, it will be like more than 50% of what we are facing now. So it is increasing. Like now I might see very healthy, I remember everything, I am able to do everything, but after 10 years time, my cognitive ability declines. The way that I perform my duties also declines. Okay, so this has become a global burden. So that's why UN sustainability goals, SDG goals, is that they want a good health and well-being, under which, along with other non-communicable diseases, they are also placing this neurodegenerative diseases that has to be addressed. Okay, so based on that, my talk will be on neurodegeneration, and I will be focusing on one particular compound that we are working with. Currently, we are doing research on this particular compound in a specific pathway. Okay, so we'll go into that. Before I start, this is my university, current university. Last time when I came, it was a different university. And so this past 3 years, I'm working in this university called University Kuala Lumpur. We have 12 campuses, and each campus is known for its specialities like management in one, biomedical sciences in one campus, marine studies in one campus, then aerospace engineering studies in another campus. So like that we have several campuses, and we are in the IPO campus, and that is my college under this university. So this is our college. So we have, this campus is for okay, so we have several programs under health and allied health sciences. So I am working under this faculty of medicine and heading the medical education department. So medical education is nothing but what curriculum has to be designed and how it should be delivered to the students to make them compassionate doctors at the end of 5 years. Okay, so that is my vision and mission and my goal that I have to focus on. So these are the courses under my faculty. And this is just data on how many students and how many faculty members are there in our campus. And we all work together. Along with, we have industrial partners because ours, it's a kind of, this university is partly under government. It's a semi-government university, and the bureaucracy of this university is very high. So we have to move to several levels until ministry. Okay, so the time given for research is also very less. The resources is also very less when coming to research. Okay, so we collaborate with many companies around, in and around Malaysia and also all over the world to make our research possible. So we get our grants, we get our projects from these companies to do research in our campus. Like in India, we have lot of research grants, isn't it? We have DST, DPT, UGC, ICMR, CSIR, and then DRDO. But there, the research grants are very less. We have one from ministry and the other science and technology from the ministry as well, but they are restricted to only the Malaysian citizens. And that too, the amount of research they do is very less. The amount allotted to do research is very less. So in that way, we have to collaborate with the companies to do our research. Okay, so these are some of the companies. So now coming back to the global health problem, neurodegeneration. Okay, so we have many nanoparticles. The nanotechnology is helping us in making the drugs. Natural products are in place. So these are now evolving. As Dr. Nitya rightly said, we have to save our planet, isn't it? We have to save our planet. So we should also avoid using the synthetic compounds. So when we say synthetic compounds, they have lot of side effects that is going to affect our body. Maybe we are having our medicines, but on the other side, we are also destroying or deteriorating our organs. Okay, so the medicines or the chemical compounds that we take as drugs are only temporary. We are actually helping the other part of it. Okay, the organs are being deteriorated because of the synthetic compounds that we take. Okay, so it is always good to rely on plant-derived products, and if you see now, the allopathic medicine also, they are moving towards the plant-derived compounds. It's not purely plant-derived, but like for dengue, we use the papaya extract tablets, right? So that is nothing but from the plant-derived product, okay? Which is proven that the toxicity is less and it has good beneficial effects. And after that, they have started to accept it. You would have watched Dr. Pal's video, yeah? Dr. Pal's, then Dr. Prakash, I think. They all give us many tips, isn't it? They are allopathic doctors, but why they are giving importance to the naturally available foods? They have realized that these are going to help us in future, isn't it? So we are now reliant or we are dependent on the plant-derived products. Okay, so more research is needed on the natural resources. So when we say natural products, it is not only the plants that we see, the medicinal plants that we see. Okay. Marine biodiversity. Many theses that I've received here, you know, they work on marine organisms, that they have the corals, they have many medicinal effects, you know, so we have to explore the diverse resources that we have, not limited to land alone. Okay, and then the agro waste and byproducts. They can be used for biosensors. Okay, the agro waste. So nothing is going to be a waste. Previous years we used to think eggshells are waste and we used to throw, isn't it? We all throw, yes or no? But one day in MasterChef program I saw it hosted by Vijay Sethupathi. You know the eggshells they boiled, they ground it and they used in the food. So you see how we are turning all the waste products into edible products. You know, we have not realized that it is a rich source of calcium. Okay, we were throwing them. But similarly, agricultural products now they are using it. How? Not directly being used, but they are fermented with the help of microbes, and then they are converted to a useful product. Okay. Now, coming to most important one, microorganisms or microbiome. They are also natural products. You know. For example, one person is taking a medicine for hypertension. For example, amlodipine. Okay. The same drug doesn't help the other individual. Yes or no? Why? Because the mechanism is different. Okay, the reason, the cause for hypertension in that individual is different. Even if we say both of the individuals have the same cause for hypertension, but that particular drug that does not work for both of them. Yes or no? Correct? Do you know why it happens? Because every individual's microbial flora is different. The way these drugs act is different. They are influenced greatly by the microbe in our gut. So that is why now they are promoting gut health. You have to maintain the gut health so that all the metabolism, the biochemical mechanisms that should take place, the signaling mechanisms, they should function properly. You know, so it's not like if I say neurodegeneration, it's not about the neurons or the brain only. It is the gut health also. That's why we say the gut-brain axis. Okay, there is a relationship between gut and brain. They say, like my mother-in-law used to say, eat well. Why? Because if I don't eat, then I will get irritated. I will get, so she will say, you will get angry easily. So you see. Why? Because the food is going to feed the microbes in my gut and it's going to be happy so that it releases the endorphins. Endorphins makes me happy, isn't it? They are known as happy hormones. So in a way, microbiome is going to help us. There's a video in YouTube, it's a TED talk on this microbes in 2015, it was released in 2015. The person says, I think he's a researcher because the way he had given the data was like a researcher. He says, when you have a pet in your house, the microbial flora is different. The immune system that you develop is different, and when you don't have, it is different. Okay? So the environment is influencing the microbial flora. So it is not only us, you know, the environment, our future generation. They have influence on the gene as well. Okay, so he says it is influencing. One example he gave is they conducted a study in MIT faculty. So the microbiome, the microbial flora of all the MIT faculty was similar. But one faculty, when he got married and went for his honeymoon to Thailand, and when he came back, his microbial flora was different. You know, the way he was exposed to the environment was different. Right? So microbiomes are also very important for us. We all know that we are having a good nature around us. We have to save the planet, isn't it, Dr. Nitya? Yeah, so that is right. Why? Because about 3.8 billion years ago, nature has been our chemist. All the medicines were given by the nature. And now also they are there, but the problem is we are not utilizing them properly and we are not preserving them properly. You know, the plants that we have, the microbes, the animals, all the pathogens are created by man because of the mishandling of the microbiome that we have. We have actually triggered the development or the production of pathogens. And we put the blame on animals, that it is zoonotic microorganisms. Okay? God did not create in that way. He created everything for our good. Isn't it? So it is our mishandling that it has changed them into pathogens. the multi-drug resistant bacteria. I saw a river is being exploited, and they are worried that that particular river is producing multi-drug resistant bacteria. So which means they are going to be isn't it very dangerous for us? But who is contaminating the river? It's us. Right? So we should take the responsibility, as Dr. Nitya had rightly said. It is our duty and responsibility to preserve all the available resources around us. Okay? Right. So now when we say natural products, all the natural products effect is different. So that's why we are studying, we are doing more and more of research based on the ancestral records, the way it works in us. Okay, so these natural products, basically one part of it is based on the metabolites that they produce. Okay, so it can be primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. So when we say primary metabolites, we all know amino acids and then the terpenoids, the isoprene units, isn't it? So we have studied glucose and all this. As biochemistry students, we should be knowing all these metabolites, right? So they are essential for growth and development. But these secondary metabolites, they are essential for defense mechanism and communication, means cell-to-cell communication, for signaling mechanism. So for all this, these secondary metabolites are important. So that's why I've shown you the amino acids produce the metabolite alkaloid. So how this is produced? They are the secondary metabolites produced by the microorganisms in our gut. So when you take what we call the ragi, your gut microbiome is happy. When you take pizza or burger, then it gets angry. Okay? Isn't it? Yeah, we are happy, but the gut microbiome is angry. They don't like it. So we are actually disturbing their regular routine. Okay? Then instead of alkaloids being produced, then what will happen? It will produce some other metabolite that is not good for our health. Okay? So that is the importance of secondary metabolites. We need to have proper secondary metabolites, and that way diet is influencing our metabolite production. Okay? In the recent trend, if you see from 1990s, the production of drugs from natural products have declined. You know why? Because we identify the compound, then we do the phytochemical analysis, then we do all the extracts, hydroalcoholic extract, aqueous extract, methanolic extract, then we see which one has effect. Okay, so that will take around 1 or 2 years. Then we identify one compound and we extract that compound, so that will take another 1 or 2 years. Then we see the effect in animals, and if we want to see one effect, then the toxicity studies, okay, the cytotoxicity, we have to extend it. So the study takes around 6 to 7 years. So it may not be you, but it is someone who is continuing your work. So when we are very, slow, I can't say slow, it is because the methods are tedious. Okay, so we are working out in that way. So in between, to cope up the diseases or whatever is being emerging, okay, nowadays in this world, we are actually moving towards the synthetic compounds. So if we had to minimize the use of synthetic compounds, then we have to pass in the methodology that we use to identify the natural products. So that is why we see there is a decline. I mean, there are many research going on, but how much is available in the market and how much is being used by us is slowly declining. Okay, because of the time-consuming procedures that we have. But why this natural products as drugs is important is because they are natural products, like they are also living things, plants, animals, microbes. So the enzyme systems that they have is very much similar to the enzyme system that we have, and those enzyme systems are going to help the proteins that are present in the humans. Understood? It may not be direct, it may not be exactly the same, but the effect is going to be very beneficial for the human. So that is why we say we have to go for natural products as the drugs. Okay? And also, they say there are metal toxicity when we use natural products as drugs. and it has multi-target. Like for example, even camphorol, if I say it has anti-cancer property, it has antioxidant property, and then it has cardioprotective property. So if I say all this, so which one will I use, right? So we have to be very specific and make it targeted therapy so that it can be used for the specific purpose that we are using. Okay, so that is where we have the nanomaterials, and those nanomaterials also we have to be very vigilant and also very careful in using them so that they are serving the purpose. Okay, so that is why we are using the microorganisms and the plant extracts to produce the biocompatible nanoparticles so that they are targeted to what is required. Okay, so marine drug discovery, if we say, if we take it directly and then we start to use it, it is going to be very cost expensive. Okay, but when we are going to process it and we are going to use the industrial biotechnology, okay, the techniques that we use, we can easily make it a sustainable product and easily deliverable product. So what I mean to say is that instead of directly being used in the market, we can go for many technologies. We can make use of the modern technologies to convert them into a sustainable product and a beneficial product for us. Okay? Right. You all know who is this? Who is this? Any idea who is this? Okay, anyway, this is not a quiz or any competition. This is Alexander Fleming. You know how he came up with the invention on penicillin? Any idea? He did not write a proposal to invent penicillin. He did not get any grants to extract this penicillin. It was just accidental. The observation that he made. Okay, he was trying something else, and finally he ended up with penicillin. You know, so that is how a research works. We need not be like, oh, I didn't get my results. All my results are negative. Not to worry, but try. Try until the end what you get. Observe. Even if it is not answering your research question or you're not able to achieve your research objective, whatever negative aspects you get, you observe what you have got, how it can be used for. It is sure that it will be a foundation for another research. Okay, so all breakthroughs comes from observation and not exploitation. Okay, so as I told you, neurodegeneration, so far we have seen what are these natural products are helping out. Okay, now we'll focus on neurodegeneration, which is upcoming global burden. And WHO says over 3.4 billion people, okay, it is around 40% of the global population, they live with neurological conditions. Some are not evident. You can't see, but they undergo neurological problems. Okay, Alzheimer, dementia, Parkinson. So these are some of the diseases that are very obvious, and many movies also they focus on these diseases nowadays. Okay, how the life changes, how their perception on things changes. Okay, so many things are being forecast nowadays for a better understanding for every individual, right? So this neurological condition, it's not only deteriorating the life of the individual, but it is also leading to death. So the death partly, like it's not about only non-communicable diseases or the heart conditions that we see nowadays. In young age, we can see many of them are dying out of heart diseases, right? So it is not only about that, even the neurological condition, they are leading to death. Okay? So it is really something that we have to worry about, and we have to focus our research into it so that the future generation can be saved from these neurodegenerative diseases. Right? So when we say neuronal health, okay, when we say neuronal health, there are 4 important things that we have to remember. One is the proteostasis, means the proteins. Okay, you all studied about protein folding, right? So when proteins are are misfolded, then they are going to end up with neurodegenerative diseases. Okay, that's what is Alzheimer's disease is about. Okay, then mitochondrial vitality. Why? Mitochondria is the energy powerhouse, isn't it? So if that mitochondria is not going to work, and then the signaling and the calcium, the homeostasis, everything is lost. Okay. Then the axonal transport. So this actually maintains the motor proteins. Okay. For the movement, we need the motor proteins. So those proteins are really important to maintain the activity of every individual. And then comes the synaptic integrity, where the learning and memory comes in. Okay, so when these four blueprint means they are very much important for any neuronal health. So if this four is affected, then it leads to neurodegeneration. Okay. Right. So when we say neurodegeneration, so what we saw earlier is the good part, the healthy part. Okay, now we are looking into neurodegeneration. What happens to those pathways or those blueprints that are necessary? Okay, so here protein aggregation, you see, where the misfolded proteins are formed, and then neuroinflammation, the inflammatory cytokines are produced, okay, and then excitotoxicity, and the axons, the synaptic transmission, all of these are affected. Okay, and then oxidative stress. We always talk about oxidative stress when there is an imbalance between oxidant and antioxidant, and that is greatly influenced by the food that we take. Okay, so whenever there is a failure, okay, whenever these four mechanisms happen, then it is going to end up with neurodegeneration. So we can't say that neurodegeneration is a one-time event. It doesn't appear like how we get heart attacks, it's one-time event. It's not like that. It is slowly progressing. Right? So same way neurodegeneration is also, it's a slowly progressing disease. It will not be seen the moment you see. They will look normal, but slowly they are deteriorating. Okay? Right. So as I told you, there is always a relationship between the gut and the brain. Okay? The good food you take, it is going to help the microbes in your gut, and that is going to help in the brain function. Okay? So that is the main theme where I focused to select the natural products as for neurodegeneration. Okay? So as I told you, in the gut, they produce metabolites, okay, short chain fatty acids, bile acids, which helps in digestion. So all of these metabolites that are produced is actually due to the interaction between the microbiome and the host. Host means us, the metabolites we are producing, and then the microbial flora that is present. Okay. So based on these metabolites, it is going that are running in our body. So that's what I told you. Diet is very important. If you go for pizza, burger, and then with all cheese, nowadays the generation, they without cheese they don't take any food. Cheese you can take; it's a good source of protein only. I agree, but there's a limit to use cheese, isn't it? Pizza means the regular cheese level is not accepted. They need additional cheese, and you saw, if you see the menu also, they top up with cheese, extra cheese pizza, isn't it? So we are moving towards junk foods. Okay, of course cheese is a rich source of protein, but there's a limit to use everything. Too much of protein foods. Okay, so even in one food channel I saw, the cheese they use is they allow it to ferment, and worms, I can see worms, and they use it in burger. Not in our country, not yet in our country, okay? So I'm happy about it. It's in Western countries they use, and they say it's very tasty to eat. Not vegetarians, yes. Okay? So that is how the world is moving on. Okay, so diet is very important for us to maintain the normal flora. Okay, so So now coming to camphorol, this is the product that we use. It's a very known product, okay, very known compound under study and has been studied for antioxidant and anti-cancer properties. There are various studies on this, okay, and the key pathways that they have studied is also listed here, like the neuroinflammatory actions, NF-kappa B, and then cyclooxygenase, anti-cancer, antioxidant. So all of these, I'm not going into detail on all the mechanisms, but if you see, all of these mechanisms, they are also used for neuroprotection and also they are as anti-neuroinflammatory action. So they have both, okay? And this camphorol is used for cancer, okay? So we can say that it is used for all of this, but how it is going to help in neurodegeneration, okay? So that is what was a focus of our study. Why we selected this camphorol is that it says that this camphorol interacts with the microbiome, okay, and the interaction is, if it is catabolized, okay, it produces the metabolite hydroxyphenylacetic acid, which is known to be beneficial, and then the availability of this camphorol increases when it interacts with the microbiome in the gut. Okay, so the absorption of this camphorol glycone increases, and then they are modulated, means the short chain fatty acids, which is beneficial, it is modified, it is increased, the production increases when this camphorol is taken. So this camphorol has an effect in the microbiome in the gut as well. Okay, so today I am presenting a preliminary study on this. We did in vitro and in silico study of this camphorol's effect on lipopolysaccharide stimulated microglia cells, and especially with respect to hippo-YAP pathway proteins. Okay, and this is our team. We are working on this under a grant. Prof. Ravichandran and late Aina Najwa, I have to mention her here because just 2 weeks before she passed away due to SLE, and she was my student and she did this work. Okay, so I should be grateful and I should be presenting her research here, and she's a very sincere and dedicated student. Okay, and this is part of our SDRG grant. Okay, so we choose microglia cells. These microglia cells are the immune defense cells in our brain, the neurons, the nervous system. Okay, so what they do is, these microglia cells, they first get activated. Okay, they have two phenotypes, M1 and M2. So from M1, they have to be activated to M2 for it to deliver the neuroprotective effect. Okay, so why activation? M1, they produce pro-inflammatory cytokines, and M2, they produce anti-inflammatory mediators. Okay, so that they become neuroprotective. So for it to be neuroprotective, it has to be activated, which means M1 phenotype should be there. It should produce pro-inflammatory cytokines, then only it can change to neuroprotective property. But in neurodegeneration, this doesn't happen. They are activated, hyperactivated in M1 stage only, and they don't move to M2 stage. Okay, so that was the area where we focused, and we used hippo-YAP signaling pathway. Why we used hippo-YAP signaling pathway is, actually this hippo-YAP signaling pathway in cancer, it is a beneficial pathway. Okay, whereas in neuroprotection, when we studied here, it has to be the opposite way. Okay, why? Because in cancer, you have proliferation of cells. So more and more cells are produced, and those cells has to be minimized, right? But in neurodegeneration, the cells are dying. So we have to proliferate the cells, new cells, so that the neuronal functions are regained. Okay, so they are contradictory pathways that we study. Understood? Hippo-YAP pathway in cancer, it is beneficial. Okay, means it has to reduce the proliferation of cells. But here we need to increase the proliferation of cells, especially the neuronal cells. Okay, so that is why we use camphorol, and this camphorol can inhibit this hippo-YAP pathway, especially two proteins that are involved, MST1 and LAX protein. So these two proteins can be inhibited activated by camphorol if it is made as a targeted compound. Okay, and where it is acting is, have you heard of globular proteins and filamentous, isn't it? So G proteins, they are polymerized to F-actin. Okay, G-actin is polymerized to F-actin. Okay, so we studied in this polymerization because the microglia, as I told you, it has to be activated from M1 to M2. So that activation requires the conversion of G-actin, the polymerization of G-actin to F-actin. Okay, so that is where we use this camphorol, and we found out that the conversion, this F-actin is having an effect on the hippo-young pathway. It is actually inhibiting the pathway so that the neuronal cells are proliferated. Okay, so these are our objectives, and based on the objectives we tested the cell viability because we used microglia cells. We used the cell viability test with MTD staining. Okay, and then the morphological changes because M1 to M2 phenotype has to be studied. Okay, so we studied the morphological changes, and we studied nitric oxide because nitric oxide is one of the pro-inflammatory cytokines. So we studied about this nitric oxide levels in the M1 phenotype, and then we also used docking studies to see on which receptor it is actually working on. Okay, we still have the flow cytometry and PCR results with us, but here I am not projecting it. This is just the start of that I am projecting here. Okay, so the results, based on the results, this camphorol is known to be cytoprotective, as many studies have already proven. So the compound that we used also was found to be cytoprotective, and the morphological changes, when they were activated with LPS, that is lipopolysaccharide, conversion of M1 to M2 phenotype. Okay, so that was actually maintained by camphorol when we used it. Okay, when LPS, it has to be activated, and that activation was normalized with camphorol. Without camphorol, it was always in the M1 phenotype. Okay, so we were able to recognize it with the immunocytochemical staining and the nitric oxide assay. So we were able to find that the M1 phenotype was prolonged. Okay, the existence of M1 phenotype was prolonged in the microglia cells when it was activated and without camphorol. Okay, and we also did protein docking studies. We actually compared it with the standard drugs that are used for neurodegeneration, like for Parkinson, Alzheimer's. So with all these drugs, we compared camphorol, and we found that this camphorol has strong binding capacity with the receptors that are involved in the G-actin to F-actin conversion, especially the receptors involved in the microglia cells. Okay, I am not going in detail here, I am just giving you a brief outline of what we found out. So when compared to all the standard drugs, camphorol's effect was more than 20-30% as we have compared with the synthetic compounds. Okay, so to conclude, we say that camphorol can be the next generation, especially the targeted drug to be used for neurodegeneration. Okay, so I would like to acknowledge the grant and our university for giving us. So as I told you, the natural metabolites that we study, they have the chemical words that can communicate with the cells rather than the synthetic compounds that we use. So always try to do research to come up with more natural products as drugs into the market. As I told you previously, we use the plant, we extract and then identify the compound. But now the technology, the in silico analysis has made everything possible and quicker way. Isn't it? So first you identify what is the target, you identify what is the compound that is going to help it. And then you do your work, then you get your results earlier. So in this way we can actually make the process of bringing the natural products as drugs into the market in a faster way. Okay, and also like only very few plants could be affected instead of trying out a bunch of plants, grinding them in the lab. Even the time is wasted and then the resources are wasted. Okay, so you all watched Kantara movie? Yes. what was the essence from that movie? Apart from the mythology, what they have explained, what was the essence? Forest, actually the resources that we get, we get a rich resource from the forest. So nature has given us, and we should not exploit them, but we should work in collaboration with them. Okay, so that is what is the ethics protocol that we have to follow when we do all this. Okay, there is a story that I just came across. A tribe, okay, they were very healthy, and when a group of researchers visited the forest, and when they were guided by these Kani tribes, they were munching some seed or some herbs when they were guiding them. So the researchers became very tired easily, but these tribes were very energetic. So they tried to get what was the secret behind that. Then with great hesitance and all the aversion they had, then finally they told them that it was a herb that is named as Arogya Pacha. Okay, so that herb helped them to be energetic. So after that, they worked in collaboration with the tribe, and then they are now working on the production of the drug with that particular plant. Okay, so we should always work in collaboration with the natural resources around us without exploiting them. Okay, so thank you all. I would say nature is the powerful chemist. Okay, so sustainability is not optional, it is mandatory that we follow, and drug discovery is not my discipline, it's not biochemistry, it is not microbiology, it is not biotechnology. We all should work together. Okay, then we make the drug discovery possible. Okay, so don't worry that, oh, I'm biochemistry, I don't have any job opportunities outside, and nowadays biochemistry, if people are thinking, what you are going to do when you study biochemistry? Yes, one example is me. Okay, though I did biochemistry, now I'm teaching medical students. So it is not restricted to any particular area. Whatever you do with happiness, do with sincerity, do with dedication, and you work together, okay, so that you achieve not only the drug discovery and also in your life. Okay, so all the best to you all, and wish you that you will also be one of the eminent speakers being called here one day in Bharati Women's College. Okay, thank you.
When neurons fail, memories fail, but science gives us hope. Thank you, Dr. Sam Annie Jayakristi, for your enlightening and inspiring lecture. We sincerely appreciate your time and expertise, and we are grateful for your valuable knowledge you have shared with us today. We are absolutely enthralled by your lecture. For the second session, to introduce our distinguished speaker in detail, I now invite our respected Associate Professor, Dr. B. Chitra, MSc, MPhil, PhD, Department of Biochemistry, Bharati Women's College, Chennai, to kindly introduce the speaker to the gathering.